Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and it's that time of the season again where we look back at Season 5, and I'm laughing because, honestly, I didn't want to do it for this season because I know if I made this video, it would just kind of sound like I'm complaining or ranting or honestly just getting on tilt because of the season, and while I might honestly do that a little bit, I still wanted to do it because I want you guys to learn from my mistakes because, like I said, I do this for every single season. I do it for Season 3, I do it for Season 4, where we just look back at the season, look back at how I did personally, but also how the community did, and Season 5 wasn't well liked, whether it was the meta, whether it was the bad team coordination, whatever the case may be. People just really didn't enjoy what Season 5 brought. Now, I do want to hear about your guys' experience also, because it's easy for me to say, oh, the meta for Season 5 was so terrible, man. Everyone was so trash. No, I don't want to just sit here and also skew your guys' opinion on it, but honestly, what Season 5 brought to the table was this brand new dive comp meta, and while the dive comp can work for a lot of team comps and just for a lot of people just in general that are good with Winston, good with Lucio, and even other heroes like Diva or maybe, I don't know, Zarya, or, you know, the dive comp is very diverse with what heroes you can pick. A lot of people didn't like it because, well, they don't really know why, but I think the big reason why is because it takes so much team coordination, and the thing with dive comp is that if people aren't in game chat but still wanting to run the dive comp or what quote-unquote is the most popular meta right now because, oh, that's what the pros do, I want to be the best Winston, the best Lucio, and just get a lot of kills. No, because the dive comp just completely destroys teams who's not coordinated with the heroes that are required of the dive comp, but also aren't willing to coordinate with their team. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get everybody in team chats, whereas people in the pros, people that actually are playing on the pro teams, unlike you guys, that I'm just laughing so much because, man, I wanted to try to look at Season 5 in a positive light, but it's so hard because of people like this. They see those pros trying to run the dive comp, but they're not willing to go into game chats, so they're just trickling in, or the Reaper's destroying them, or the Pharah's destroying them. There's just so much that counters the dive comp that if you're not willing to work with your team, it's not going to work out. Just working with the team in general, not even just with the dive comp, that I saw a lot with Season 5. I saw so many people not going in game chat, or so many people just trickling in, or just using ults whenever they want to. It was a very like headache-filled type of season where I hope in the near future in Season 6 it all changes. But for me personally, for Season 5, in fact, let's go and look at my own performance because it might surprise some of you guys what happened for me this season. So as you guys know, when Season 4 did end, I think I ended around mid-masters or so, and that was a pretty good rank. You know, that was the highest rank that I ever got, and I was pretty proud of that. I loved being in masters because I felt like I don't know why, it just seemed like people either had one hero that they just completely mastered and they can use in any type of situation, and you can sometimes throw wild cards in there, like I'm talking about Sombras, Junkrats, or even Maze for an example, like for me, whatever. So going into Season 5, I was pretty hopeful because, well, the meta was looking very strong, and I was, you know, I was feeling great. I was doing so good in Overwatch, and then Season 5 finally dropped, and in fact, I did phenomenal. I think I placed around low masters or something, and I didn't think I would even begin in masters. I think I thought I had to climb all the way from mid diamond or something, but obviously I got placed at low masters, and I just started to climb and climb and climb, and during this time, there was no Reaper meta. During this time, the Mercy meta was pretty prevalent, and the dive comp really wasn't, I'm trying to remember, I don't think the dive comp was in full effect, but I think it was slowly gonna get there, but you can kind of get by with not a lot of team coordination. If you had like a Zarya, if you had a soldier, if you had somewhat of a decent pharmacy, which pharmacy was a big factor in Season 5, need I remind you. So during the beginning of Season 5, I just continued to climb and climb and climb, so that's what I'm so like, what's going on with me in Season 5, but then I started to see other people, how they were also struggling, but then I climbed to the highest rank possible. I think I was at like 3,800, which is very, very high masters, and that was the highest I didn't think I was gonna get. I thought I could honestly climb to Grandmasters, but then all of a sudden, I think it was around when Reaper got that final big buff. The Reaper meta was in full effect, and that's what changed the game for me. This is the suckiest part when it comes to competitive Overwatch because it honestly just takes 1 day or maybe 2 days just to completely nuke your competitive rank. And again, I want to take responsibility for my own actions, but man, I even recorded this session that just completely continued to drop and drop and drop, and it just didn't happen for 1 session. It happened for 2 sessions between the Reaper meta. After Reaper got that big buff, it just completely just changed Overwatch. Not completely changed it, but especially in the DPS category, because a lot of people wanted to play Reaper, but the thing is, Reaper is a very niche hero. It takes a lot of situations, and while the situation was pretty prevalent, if they were even just to have anyone like a soldier or a Pharah or anyone that could be decent at range, Reaper would completely get taken out. And for the most part, I think I did pretty decent with Reaper, but man, other people really did it, and I think this is the time that people just started to not care because they don't know what's going on when it comes to the dive comp and why they're just not living so much when they're getting pounced on by Winston, by Pharah, by Lucio, by all these dive heroes, and by all these people that are pretty decent with these heroes. Because it's so easy to counter the dive comp, people just don't realize it, right? They get pounced on by the Winston, they get pounced on by the Lucio, but they don't know what to do because they're not in game chat willing to say, hey, let's focus this Winston that's right in front of us, and then we can focus the healers. Why are we going to focus everyone else when there's literally a big giant scientist, because he's not a monkey, mind you, there's a big giant scientist right here that we can totally focus on, and then it's a 5v6. It's just simple like that. And now it's easier said than done. Now maybe they have better team coordination, maybe the Zarya bubble, the Winston, whatever the case may be. This is what season 5 kind of came down to, is whoever had the better team coordination and whoever tilted the least, right? Because whoever gets tilted the most and who's ever just willing to throw and not work together with a team, those are the people that are guaranteed to lose the game. I mean, like, duh, of course, bro, YOU WACK, whoever throws is gonna lose the game, but it was so prevalent in season 5 because you also have to remember that around the time that my biggest drop happened, and this isn't the case for everyone, this is why I want to hear you guys' story, but around mid-season, this is when people just don't care. They just simply don't care, right? This is the 5th competitive season. People already got their master rank. People already got their gold gun. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, I don't care. I got masters. I'm going to play Genji even though they have a Mei, a Winston, and a Zarya. But I want to play Genji. Want to know why? Because that's what I climbed with all the way to masters. So I'm going to use Genji right here because I'm good with Genji, even though I'm countered heavily. And that's another big factor. I can throw so many big factors into why season 5 wasn't great. But for the people that weren't willing to work together as a team, weren't willing to switch heroes when they're obviously countered, even though they were one-trick pony Sombra mains, Genji mains, Junkrat mains, Mei mains even. You know, if you're getting countered on the enemy team, you're just not... First of all, I feel like you're not going to be picking up your weight, and if one person isn't picking up their weight, getting kills, and if they just completely just continue to die, like how Reaper does it, then your team is going to suffer because now it's a 5v6 every single fight, and someone has to pick up your weight, but it's going to be so hard because a Lucio can only do so much, a Mercy can only do so much, and since Mercy was so prevalent, it put a lot of pressure on the DPS, and if DPS wasn't doing their job, oh man, you just weren't going to win the game. So in conclusion, what did I like about season 5? That it required so much team coordination. You might be wondering, oh, why is that such a good thing? Because that's what Overwatch requires, and now people are starting to freaking realize that you have to coordinate with your team, and I just keep repeating it, and I know I repeated it a bunch, but I want you guys to remember, if you're not going into game chats and the enemy team is doing so well with team coordination and using team ultimate combinations, which is the simplest form of Overwatch and that you can use in competitive Overwatch, then that's the reason why you're not climbing. You're not combining ultimates. You probably are playing Genji and then another person playing Zarya, and those are two different worlds when it comes to ultimate usage. Well, those are the two most powerful ults that you can use, Tracer and Zarya, Main and Zarya. I can use any type of ultimate combination with Zarya, but if you're playing one of those heroes and you're not in team chat working together with your team, oh man, you're gonna struggle a lot in the near future because people are catching on and people are starting to realize, wow, going into game chat really does help, especially now with season 5 when dive comp is so prevalent and when you have to focus on one hero to get to the next hero, because that's the biggest thing with dive comp. You can't focus one hero before getting to the next hero. I know I gave the example of focusing Winston. That's a special example if they don't have a Mercy or have a Zenyatta orb on that Winston. At that point, you do focus that Winston. But let's say a Zarya. You can't focus a Zarya if she's getting pocketed by Mercy, because now you're just building the Mercy ultimate. It's just so much going on that it could easily be negated if people know what hero that they're playing, know the role that they need to fill, and just know what they need to do when working together as a team. People don't know why they're dropping, but I think that's the biggest reason why. But again, everybody's story is different. I can sit here and just pound you guys, and that sounds so wrong. Okay, don't type that in the comments, but I can just sit here and just spit this back at you guys saying, oh, go into game chat, work together as a team, but really, this is what season 5 embodied. When it came to the word of tank meta, it was very, very, very slower, and you can really just get a good idea of what you need to do when it came to the tank meta. But when it comes to something like this, when there's a lot of fast heroes being played, you have to work together as a team because you can't be using the communication wheel, and it's just so much faster when talking with your teammates. I think I said communicate with your teammates at least 10 times in this video, but really that's what I like so much about Season 5, but that's what I hated so much about Season 5. So anyway guys, that's my final verdict. I didn't like Season 5 just because of that, because people got tilted because no one was working together as a team, but they weren't in game chat. It's just as simple as that. So love you guys. Thank you guys for watching more Overwatch videos to come. Let me know what your thoughts are on Season 5. I gave you my thoughts, and I can't wait to see what Season 6 brings. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.